Hey friend, welcome to my podcast, The Fit Soul. I'm your host, Amy Ramsey. In this podcast, we will be discussing soul-filled strategies to unleash your confidence, increase your energy, and all the things healthy lifestyle. If you're a Christian woman who is ready to reach your God-given potential, walk worthy of your calling with abundant joy and energy, girlfriend, you are in the right spot. I mean, you only have one life to live. You might as well maximize it. Buckle in, and thanks for listening. Hey there, Amy Ramsey here. Super excited to have you tune in for the podcast today. And I'm really excited for the subject that we're going to talk about. In fact, as I'm recording this, I just hopped off of a coaching call with my Walk Worthy mentorship. And it's one of my favorite places to hang out and to share with those ladies, encourage them, be their coach. And we're talking through what does it look like to optimize our life. Worthy is a framework. It's a framework that I've got in my coaching practice, and it's whole, optimized, resilient, transformed, healthy you. So we're working through optimization and pairing that with Proverbs 25 and the importance of the strength of self-control. We were talking about different ways that, like, if we focused on one area, whether it's an area in our spiritual life, in maybe our mindsets, maybe physical. If we focused on one area, just that one area, how much fruit would that produce in our lives? So if you're new to the podcast, thank you for being here. So grateful. And I approached this podcast and my coaching really first and foremost as a believer. So if you're an all Jesus girl, you're in the right house. And also as a certified high performance coach. And I love to pair that science, that scientific edge, and how it matches with what God's been saying all along. And when it comes to our health and wellness, so I've been 25 years in the health and wellness space, there's always a place of optimization, because of the natural human tendencies with our habits and how we tend to slack off, not get better. That's just the way it is. And I was sharing with them, I'm like, for us to do better, to have more energy, I don't need to tell you what to do. I mean, I can give you a list of the top 10 things. This is proven by science. And you would be like, oh, yeah, I know that. I just need to go do it. It's not a problem of not having the information. So this podcast, I really want to pair through what the scripture is saying and just give you a fresh, maybe biblical inspiration, and then also just motivation to get that self-control back on. It is something when we are in control over our temptations, over our comforts, instead of them being in control of us. And this takes work. This is that partnering with God in every aspect of your life, but He's not going to come and take the Twinkie out of your mouth. He's just not. Like, you got to do that work. So this is also you leading yourself well. And I want to speak to the strength of self-control. That's not very sexy, is it? I kind of wish I had some like sexy little undertow that could kind of pull you in, and then it like ends up talking about self-control. But the reality is that as a fruit of the Spirit in our lives, it manifests in so many different aspects of our life. And the more we can embrace that, the strength of the ability of controlling ourselves, our tongue, our actions, our eating patterns, the way that we're living our lives in harmony with and in step with the Holy Spirit, it changes everything. 100% changes everything. And so this is a fresh reminder to me as well, this podcast episode. And that reminder here's what I want to ask you. A mentor of mine, Craig Groeschel, says this in his book, The Power of Change. Love that book, by the way. Discipline is what you want most over what you want now. And when we have that perspective and we're really working on building in that, I just want to encourage you to build mastery level over the bad habits to where you're not just, managing, but actually where you're gaining on it and it becomes lifestyle for you. That's the ultimate goal, is to build lifestyle. And what I've learned, and I'm just going to put like a tiny bit of a disclaimer when it comes to health and wellness, just being in this space for so long and being my own project, number one, is that I think that with health and wellness, because of the ebb and flow of life, pick 3 times a year, 2 times a year where you actually go and do a reset. Our habits don't get more stellar. They get a little sloppy. So that being said, I wanted to give you that little nugget. Okay, we're about to pop into a FAT again, faith-activated text. So what that is, real quick, is I have a coaching group and I provide for them the clarity, the focus, the structure, and teach them the faith-fueled high-performance habits to create and design the life that they love. And that honors God, and that is walking worthy in their calling, and that is a purpose-filled life. And so this is a community of women that we are linking arms together and moving forward in life. And every single morning to keep them encouraged and motivated and challenged, if you will, I send them a voice memo directly to their phone. It's not a place that you have to go outside or into a Facebook group. No, straight to their phone to encourage them. And it's a so it's a Bible verse with an activation. I do believe that my spiritual gift is a catalyst to activate. I want you in motion, because thinking about saying you're gonna, all the stuff, it ain't getting it. You got to get in action, baby. So anyway, well, I hope that you enjoy this podcast, and would love if you would share this episode with others. Help me get the word out. And God bless you. Love you. And here is that faith-activated text. Proverbs 25. Of course, please read through this entire scripture, the whole the whole chapter. And really, as I was reading through it, I was struck by, I don't know, it just I got tickled a little bit, and I thought, read the room. There's so much common sense, but like higher level ways that one should manage themselves in situations. Read the room. How do we read the room? Okay, so that was just a little side note. But our conversation today, I want to just give you a couple of little thoughts to think about. As believers, we're called to walk in the Spirit. And part of walk worthy and walking worthy is this pursuit of excellence in our lives. Most Christians these days are living an apathetic life on autopilot. I've been there. Maybe you've been there. Maybe you can relate with that. Or maybe you were there for a little time, or maybe you're there now and you're trying to come back. What do I mean by that? Apathetic, just really not even concerned with God's best. What is God saying here? Maybe even going to church regularly. Maybe even checking off the checklist of quiet time, quote unquote. But it's just a checklist. And I know I had a crucial time in my life where my yes was on the table. My surrender was on the table. It's like, Lord, whatever you want with my life, that's what I want to do, because this whole thing that I'm doing is not working for me. And in that, as we're pursuing excellence in our life, it's for God's glory. And so I just want to encourage you on that. But one of my prayers for my life, and one of the prayers that I have over this mission that He's put on me of walk worthy in the Walk Worthy mentorship and the coaching that I do is to be fruitful and faithful, faithful and fruitful, faithful to His Word, to live my life with that personal integrity, moral courage, walking forward, walking worthy of that calling in my spiritual gifts, but to be fruitful in it. Like, what does it look like to actually have evident fruit? Not to do something, quote unquote, check off a list. No, but like literally that my life matters and that I am walking worthy of that. And I know that if you're listening to this, that is important to you too. So when we're thinking about being fruitful, there's this place of it's constantly dying to our own flesh. Our flesh is strong, right? And it really does fight up against the ways of God. And so asking yourself when you start to think about being fruitful, I like to think about it like these beautiful fruits. I just love how God is so creative with nature, right? And so just thinking about, just in your own mind, think about this big, beautiful basket of gorgeous fruits, all different fruits. Could be a banana, a pineapple, grapes, strawberries, you name it, your favorite fruits, okay? And that our life is like that. Our spiritual life is like that. Just beautiful, vibrant, thriving. Because I'm telling you, where the Lord is, that is where freedom is. So we think about this, we think about the fruit of the Spirit. These are evidences in our life. So ask yourself, how am I marked by these things? Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control. These are evidences of the Spirit, of the work of the Spirit in our lives. And so one of those fruits is self-control. How are you with your self-control? How are you leading your own self? How are you under pressure? In our own flesh, it ain't pretty, right? If we're really honest, it's not pretty. So building up, walking in the fruit of the Spirit with self-control for us is a work. So wherever you are on that tandem, maybe you've got yourself under control, or maybe you're like, not so great. And let's think about that. Let me just expand upon that just a little bit. Self-control. How are you doing with food? It's a struggle, right? But are you gaining on that? How are you doing managing yourself, self-control with your time? How are you stewarding your time? Now, I know I'm probably stepping on some toes, and that's okay, right? So let's think about self-control in self-leadership, with our nutrition, with our health and wellness, with our time. It's one of the most beautiful things you have dominion over. And if you find that over and over again, you're wasting your time on things that are fruitless, they don't matter, like social media, aimlessly scrolling. How are you with self-control with your money? We have dominion over our time. We have dominion over our money. We have dominion over what we put inside of our mouths. And so the more that we can go, okay, how is my self-control? So as we're just thinking about this whole idea of pursuing excellence in our life, and that walk worthy verse in Ephesians 4:1 talks about personal integrity, like actually doing what we say we're going to do. Okay, let me land this plane. Verse 28 says, whoever has no rule over his own spirit is like a city broken down without walls.
Here's the Passion Translation. If you live without restraint and are unable to control your temper, you are as helpless as a city with broken down defenses, open to attack. Okay, pray for self-control in every area of your life today. Ask God to strengthen your spiritual defenses. Ask God to help you in the areas, like identify the areas you need to build up self-control. Whether it's in your physical realm, spiritually, emotionally, we are called, remember, to be strong. And we build this daily. We build these things into our lives daily. So ask the Lord, and pray for Him to strengthen you. And then here's the challenge. Identify one habit you need to surrender to God for greater self-discipline. Identify one. And I just want to challenge you with whatever that one is. I think we all can real quickly go, yeah, this needs to go in my life. I know it, and maybe I haven't addressed it, or maybe I've been addressing it. I want you to, in 4 weeks from now, make progress on it. Maybe it's your tongue. Maybe it's emotional outburst. Maybe it's emotionally eating, drinking, social media. I would love for you to identify one area of your life and say to yourself, I'm going to focus on this, and I'm going to actually take strides. This is getting a little long. I want to share with you one thing that I did recently that was really helpful. I struggle with too much social media, just like probably you do. And I actually kept thinking, okay, I'm going to get better. But I put some numbers to it. I actually wasn't getting better, and I made some changes. So I put on my phone time limits. I can't access my phone and social media, but certain times of the day. And so that really helped a lot. Like after 9 p.m., I don't even want to tell you my times because I want you to decide your own times. But I can't get on social media. And here's the other thing. I put on time limits. I get cut out of I get locked out of my own phone. Now I can actually override it if I need to, but it was so helpful. It was what I needed to do. I had to make it harder to access those things. My time on social media, because you can see it every single week, dramatically decreased. I also decided I couldn't answer all of the text messages that were coming my way and all of the responses. And it just kept me on my phone instead of pursuing things. And then if I get on my phone, you're probably the same. Oh my gosh, I'm off to the races. Like I get lost. I'm like, ugh. So anyway, that it built up my self-control, but I had to take some actions to get there. All right. So what are the actions you need to take to get to more self-control in your life? I just want to cheer you on this. Excuse me. But I want to cheer you on to make whatever you're doing harder to access, or make some sort of your own personal consequences around it. Set up like your own system to make progress toward that thing. Oh my gosh, this got so long. I hope this was helpful. Oh my goodness. I really hope this is helpful. I'm really here to cheer you on. I'm your girl, here to cheer you on. Let's go walk worthy today.
Girlfriend, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I'm so honored you come back every week and that you share the Fit Soul podcast with your friends and family. Every time you share my podcast on Instagram or Facebook, I do a little happy dance. Make sure you subscribe to the Fit Soul podcast where you'll never miss an episode. You can go to Podcast, Apple, Stitcher, and Spotify and subscribe so you'll never miss an episode release. And just know, I truly love bringing you excellent content and great guests to provide you motivation and faith inspiration to help you walk worthy. And one of the ways you can help me is to go and leave the Fit Soul podcast a review. If you have just a moment, would you please go over and leave a review for the Fit Soul podcast? Thank you again.
I love you. And here is your reminder. You are worthy. Until next time. Bye-bye.